Hey friends, welcome back to Breathwork Basics. Today we're going to do some box breathing. So I was out for a walk, found a beautiful spot in the forest, decided this was the place to make a recording. So here we are. Highly encourage you, if you have the opportunity, get out in nature, particularly in a forest setting. The air around trees is just different. Scientifically verified, there's different chemicals in the air in the forest than there are indoors, and oxygen being one of them, but many others. So do yourself a favor if you can. Find yourself a spot outdoors and practice some breath work. So before we get started into the actual box breathing, let's just do a little bit of grounding and just start paying attention to our breath. So you do this with eyes closed if that's comfortable for you. If not, just leave your eyes open, but let's just observe our breath. Don't try and change anything. I just want you to observe your breath. So the way you normally breathe, let's take a few breaths. Just pay attention. So are you breathing through your nose or through your mouth here? Would you call your breath deep, shallow, somewhere in between? How about trying to count how long your inhale is and how long your exhale is? Is your inhale longer or shorter than your exhale? Is there a pause in between the inhale and the exhale? Is there a pause between the exhale and the inhale? All right, if your eyes are closed, you can open them. Let's just shake that out a little bit. So you can see there's a lot more going on with your breath than simply an in and out exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. There's different depths of breathing, there's different patterns. They change with your emotions, with your level of intensity, with your physical activity. Lots going on with your breath, and most of the time we don't pay any attention to it. We just carry on breathing in what we call our normal way. So the point of these exercises is to try to get you to observe your breath, learn that you can control your breath, and feel the impact of changing your breath. So before we get right into the box breathing, let's try a little exercise here. I'm going to ask you to breathe through your nose, and when you're inhaling, we're going to expand our chest. And when we're exhaling, we're going to contract. So it goes like this. So we inhale, open the chest. I like to look up. And on the exhale, we bring the arms down and we bring the shoulders in and we collapse our rib cage. And a full exhale here. Then a full inhale. Expand everything. Exhale. So follow along. Inhale. Expand. Exhale. Contract. Inhale. Exhale. So a few more at your own pace here. And on your next exhale, just drop your hands down to your side. So what you can see there is when you're expanding your chest, you've got room for more air. And when you're contracting, you're pushing all of that air out. And what that's doing is it's increasing your lung capacity. If you practice that, then your normal breathing will just naturally take on that pattern. We tend, as we get older, to breathe more shallowly, and we lose that lung capacity. So that's important, especially in your old age. When you're 80 years old trying to climb a flight of stairs and you can't get enough air in, it matters. So just one of those simple little things that you can practice. And just whenever you're thinking about it. You don't have to set aside any time. You can do it in the car, you can do it standing in line, you can do it when you're making coffee. Let's try that again, but now let's add a tiny pause at the top and a tiny pause at the bottom. So we're going to inhale, expand, and we're going to stop just for a second, just a noticeable delay, and then we're going to exhale, and we're going to stop. Inhale, stop, exhale, stop, inhale, stop, exhale, stop. A few more at your own pace. Couple more. And on the last exhale, just drop your hands down. And let's shake that out a little bit. So that's basically an introduction to box breathing. So breath is more than just the inhale and the exhale. Every time you inhale, there's a natural pause. It can be a microsecond or it can be extended. What we just did was try to manipulate that at the top of the breath and at the bottom of the breath. So in box breathing, we take that one step further where we introduce a longer pause at the top and the bottom. So what we're going to try and do is inhale the same amount of time as we hold, and then we exhale the same amount of time, then we hold at the bottom for the same amount of time. So we're going to inhale, and let's start with a count of 3. So we're going to inhale 3, hold 3, exhale 3, hold 3, inhale 3, hold 3, same pattern. Okay, so that's the box that we're creating. It's 3, 3, 3, 3. So you can do this with eyes closed, eyes open. You can do it with or without your hands. So I'm just going to do it with my eyes closed and I'll walk you through it. So you can follow me. We're going to do an in for 3, hold 2, 3, exhale 2, 3, hold 2, 3, inhale 2, 3, hold 2, 3, exhale 2, 3, hold 2, 3, and keep on going at your own pace here. So remember the box. It's in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, exhale, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3. Couple more here. And on your exhale, just relax and shake that out. So what this does is there's a couple of things. First of all, your whole body just relaxes. Part of the reason for that is that you've taken your mind off of everything because it's busy counting the threes. So it's not worrying about what's for dinner. It's not worrying about the argument you had this morning. It's busy. Your mind is busy counting your breaths. So there's the mental side of it, and then there's the physical side of it. So just the fact that you're controlling your breath relaxes the nervous system, and it just has a calming effect. So you can do this while you're driving. You do it at a stoplight. You can do it while you're in line waiting for a coffee. You don't need to set aside an hour a day to do it. You can do it 3 times here, 4 times there, whenever you feel the need. So if you find yourself in a stressful situation, take some time and do box breathing. Find it particularly helpful, for example, nervous flyers. Sitting, instead of worrying about the plane crashing, when you're sitting in your seat at takeoff, start doing some box breathing and just get your mind off of everything else, start counting your breaths. So let's try that again, but let's try it now for a count of 4. If you practice this enough, you may find you get yourself up to the count of 6 or even 8, but let's go with 4 for now. If you find yourself getting lightheaded, just break away, take a couple of normal breaths, and then come back to it. So let's go with 4, 4, 4, and 4. So inhale for 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Couple more at your own pace. And on your last exhale, just come back and relax. We'll shake that out a little bit. And let's do a little exercise called the washing machine, just to shake this whole bit out. So, right arm goes over, right hip goes over. Left, right, 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 left, right. And slow it down. All right, let's call that a day. That's box breathing. Enjoy.